it will be so much more than just another park.
The man behind the design for Tulsa's gathering place is promising our children will have the world's greatest playground, surrounded by a site that will offer the country a new vision of Tulsa. Michael Van Valkenburg has pulled it off in cities around the country, and I met him at his latest project that is winning rave reviews in his home of Brooklyn, New York. These are the sounds of a park in the middle of America's greatest city.
This is something that people want to embrace. It's all around us.
A park with a heart-stopping view of that city.
People having a good time around other people they don't know.
1, 2, 3.
The sounds that tell Michael Van Valkenburg he's done his job well.
People like being around people.
And first and foremost, America's leading landscape architect considers himself in the people business. Whether it's here at Brooklyn Bridge Park, Pennsylvania Avenue out front of the White House, Harvard Yard, the Gateway Arch grounds in St. Louis, the George W. Bush Library, and soon Tulsa's gathering place. Van Valkenburg is at the top of his game, his profession, at a time of exciting renewal for American cities.
I feel very lucky as a landscape architect that I'm alive and doing this work at a time when people are so interested in what makes cities a good place to live.
To Van Valkenburg's thinking, it's great parks that define great cities, even more than iconic buildings. Great parks designed to serve people and their everyday lives. Though each project presents its own challenges. It's here in Brooklyn, wedged between Lower Manhattan and the East River, the Statue of Liberty, and its namesake bridge, that Van Valkenburg's latest creation offers hints of what's to come in Tulsa. Here, his firm took 85 acres of abandoned riverfront piers and warehouses.
Nice.
And in a $380+ million transformation, left behind an urban oasis of muscular exertion and quiet solitude. Great expanses for play and small hidden places to escape the noise and chaos of New York. All of it wrapped in reminders of the grittiness that's never far away here, softened by native flowers, trees, shrubs, and water that convey a sense of nature that's completely man-made. Every sloping hill, every wooded grove.
What makes a landscape exciting? Not seeing the same thing over and over again. Tall spaces and closed spaces and sun and shadow and hills you can't see over.
A template for Tulsa on a riverside site Van Valkenburg began plotting the minute he first laid eyes on it 4 years ago.
I knew it was going to be great. I was surprised that a piece of land that big right in the middle of the city was sitting there the way it was.
A bigger surprise still, that philanthropist George Kaiser and a collection of local corporations and foundations would pay to build it and to care for it.
It's unbelievable. I mean, the generosity.
And for their investment, Van Valkenburg promises a stunning statement to the world of sculpted hills and glades and native stone. A place that even when filled with visitors will offer them a sense of separation. A breathtaking children's playground nestled in the Blair family's oak grove.
I think it may be, when it's done, one of the best playgrounds in the world.
In total, an Oklahoma place, at once of great expanse and peaceful intimacy, the city's new centerpiece.
Tulsa is already an amazingly livable city, and I think people see this as another piece in the puzzle of making a truly great place to live and to raise families.
The pieces of Tulsa's puzzle and all the others are fitted together from the 11th floor of Brooklyn's tallest building. Here, Van Valkenburg's staff of 75 architects, engineers, artists, and industrial designers are changing the dynamics of landscape design and, by consequence, of cities themselves. And despite the clatter on the streets outside, Van Valkenburg is never far from the upstate New York dairy farm where he grew up and learned to love the native flora and fauna. Never far from his memories of rolling hills studded with maple groves. A sense of beauty and calm that still center his life and drive his designs, and offer the places his work touches a chance to follow him there and make it their own.
I think this park will help people to decide to settle in Tulsa and make it home.
A Gathering Place's first phase should be finished in 3 years, followed by a second and a third phase. The Kaiser Foundation is predicting over 1 million visitors a year will use the park just at the outset. We've got links to both the park's website and Michael Van Valkenburg's inside this story at newson6.com.